You've been playing a ranger for at least 24 years now.
Yeah.
How is it? How does it feel to be playing a character for this long?
I originally started, about 24, almost 25 years ago, as the Green Ranger coming into the series. And our series was based off of a mixture between like Japanese footage. Mm-hmm. So we'd film the American version in Japanese footage. So we ran out of Japanese footage, and then we filmed the White Ranger. And then I was a Red Zeo, Red Turbo. And then I went back when Disney owned it as the Black Dino Thunder. And then from there, I reprised the role and, did some stuff in the movie and Green Ranger. And then now the latest is a new character that's still me, but called Lord Draken. It's called Shattered Grid, and it follows the comic books, Boom Comics. It feels good, but also been doing other stuff, which is great. I did a new superhero character named Bloodshot. It's from Valiant Comics, and I do the TV side of it. We've been filming for the last 2 years, and now Sony picked up the rights, so Van Diesel's playing it in the movie, which is he'll be playing Bloodshot. So worldwide, people would know Bloodshot. I was doing that. Done a lot of different films. I just got back from China. That's why I'm a little jet lagged. So I flew from Texas to China. I filmed 2 days in China, a film called Underdogs Rising, and it's kind of for this genre as well because it's a gamer movie based off Dota 2. Dota, yeah. And so I just did that, and then did another movie called Omniboat. Great cast. Robert Redford's in it, Adam Devine, and it's a bunch of movies merged together named The Omniboat, and ton of other stuff. But it's been exciting. To answer your question, it's great to come to the Comic-Con to see the parents that have their kid, which is probably like 28 now, right? Yeah. And then they have their child, which is like 4 or 5. So 3 different generations of the fans that can enjoy the Comic-Cons and enjoy the Power Ranger brand. So it's been a long ride. These Comic-Cons I do for fun. And I don't do them for anything else than that. And I've been doing this kind of a world tour thing, and I think it's important because sometimes a lot of actors can make way more money in the U.S. and they don't want to go outside of it. But for me, I've been to Argentina and then Jakarta, and right after this I go to Dubai for the Comic-Con. So I think reaching out to the fans around the world, because Power Rangers is international, not just the U.S. So I think U.S. gets very spoiled with a lot of actors that do these kinds of shows. So I do it for fun, and I'm happy to be here. I was here a month ago. And now I'm back.
All these Power Rangers that you did, with the movie which came out last year. How was the interaction? Because you did a cameo in the movie. How was the interaction with the new generation?
The new generation, they actually are growing up with my older seasons because the parents love it. So the parents are Netflixing it, putting it on Netflix, and so it's been great. And like I said, I've seen a lot more little kids now that I remember than 24 years ago. Sometimes when there's like a Power Ranger panel or, one person said, I opened the door and I expect to see a bunch of little kids, but that's not what I saw. And I said, well, my fan base right now, the prime fan base is anywhere from 20 to 30. And that's the fan base. But now I got a lot of little kids coming up too, which is great and exciting. So I love kids. I run martial arts schools. Rising Sun Karate back in Texas and California, and then I started actually an online program, which I saw some people here that were taking my online program. It's trainmejdf.com. I do that just to reach out to people around the world. Can't get a black belt through the internet,
but I presume not.
But some people out there do that, but I don't. But it's just a good way of practicing and being dedicated and stuff. And this karate is something I've done around my whole life. So I've always had little kids, including now a ton of little kids at my karate schools that look up to us as instructors. I just received my 8th degree black belt and a new title, Hanchi. I've been training since I was 4. And I'm 44, so I've been training 40 years.
Is there any other sport within martial arts movement that you are preparing or learning?
I started my own system in 1994 called Toso Kundo. It's the way of the fighting fist. My schools used to be called Toso Kundo. People couldn't pronounce it. People didn't understand it. People couldn't spell it. So now we're just Rising Sun Karate. But in the arts, you're constantly perfecting things and teaching things from a different aspect than you normally would look at it. I used to look at things at 20 years old, and now I looked at the same thing as I do now, being a higher degree, and I understand there's certain things that need to be adjusted and moved, and certain movements and certain flows that flow together. So that's the great thing about martial arts. You're around it all the time, and it starts giving you a different feel. There's different ways of approaching a technique from being a higher rank than being a lower rank and teaching it. People can understand it. And I think that's the best thing is the translation of being a teacher. Yeah. Like in Texas, we have.
Was it difficult to make that transition from being somebody who practices it and into teaching somebody martial arts?
Yeah, there's difficult. Oh man, it was. I was always a teacher by heart, but there's definitely there's a lot of great martial artists out there in the UFC. There's a lot of great people that don't teach, that can't translate that, and you're such a great, there's good martial artists, but they just don't have a successful school because they can't translate that. Much like if you went to a church, they're reading the same book, but you have someone like Joel Osteen who is a mega church, and then you have someone who's kind of an older school church. So what makes a difference is the translation from them speaking from the book to the crowd. Does it motivate them? Does it get pumped up? Or does it make you go to sleep?
You executed a lot of martial arts and also all the versions of Power Rangers that you did. Did it encourage other people to teach it? Also to the new actors?
Like I said, I was a real martial artist, so I was able to choreograph a lot of things, translating that through the television to other people now that are black belts that own their own school, and they started karate because they saw Power Rangers. Yeah. So now the new Power Rangers, they don't do a lot of fighting or martial arts.
No, it's a little bit less, and that's a little bit of a pity that they dropped it for a few inches.
Yeah, well, I think they let the people inside the helmets, they do a little bit more, training and stuff like that and fighting, and it makes it a little bit easier directing. If you have someone that doesn't know martial arts, it's hard to take 2, take 3, take 4. But we were so perfected in the martial arts at one time where it was like take 1, and that's the idea. And with Bloodshot, it was amazing. It was filmed by Bat and Son that do a lot of the superpower beatdowns. Yeah. Green Ranger versus Ryu, White Ranger versus Scorpion. Super amazing. If you're into the this is a Comic-Con, so if you're into superheroes battling superheroes, Bat and the Son has millions and millions and millions and millions of views around the world. Yeah, and it's really fun to kind of watch your superhero, battling each other. So Bloodshot was very extensive fighting machine. That's like, I know Van Diesel's playing it in the movie and stuff, but there's doubles, and I'm proud to say I never had a stunt double, and what you're going to see that's going to be released soon is going to be epic, man.
How many tattoos do you have? Because you made the documentary tattoos. It's My Life.
I used to count tattoos. Okay. Now I do a body percentage. It used to be like I got 10 tattoos, 15 tattoos. So I would probably say about
how many percent?
65 to 70% of my body. Oh, wow. I would say.
That's a huge percentage.
It is. Half the side's really not tatted. My legs are all tatted up like everywhere, and I got so. But yeah, everybody here at the Dutch Comic-Con, the fans around the world. There's so much love. You guys have so much love here and so much appreciation. Like I said, in the U.S. too, and forgive me for all my fans, but I think the appreciation comes from maybe, when you have a certain guest here or something, they appreciate you flying this way to see them. And I want to say thank you for the love, because I've had people that come from Germany and France and just all these people around the world, and I'm able to reach closer here than the United States. So, going out and doing this world tour, I appreciate everybody, and the love over here and everywhere else I'm traveling is just so how can I say, grateful. Like I said, in the U.S., I think we're spoiled. We'll have 99 people out of a cast, and then that one person's like, well, you're missing one. It's like, dude, you got 99 people, like, be happy with 1 or 2 members out of a cast, so it's good to see that the fans really appreciate it. And what I like about this Comic-Con too is that, I had a few people miss the photo ops today, and we wanted to make sure that it happened because they came from France. And, I think the Comic-Con and the promoters here want to make sure everyone leaves happy. Because I represent them, they represent me. If they're not happy with the Dutch Comic-Con, they're not happy with me, and vice versa. So I appreciate you all inviting me out there, and all the fans around the world and everywhere. I treat everyone equal. I have just as much energy.
I would say enjoy your stay here. Have a safe trip to your next destination.
Going to Dubai.
To Dubai, indeed, in the heat, so be prepared for it.
I did Google, and I got back from China, and I Googled here, so I'm Googling the weather, and I'm thinking, okay, I'll pack this jacket, and then I'll pack these shorts for Dubai. So I got random stuff in my suitcase. Yeah, random stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it also.
Thank you so much.